Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Many practitioners tell me they feel like they're stuck in an endless cycle of marketing trying to get clients. And when it's not working, they often try more marketing and then even more. But doing more of what's not working is never a solution. Streamlining your marketing so that you create less content that's more effective is the best path to stop that endless cycle of marketing. Today, I'm going to walk you through how one piece of marketing content can be used to create almost all the content you need. And the bonus, you'll spend less time doing your marketing and have more time for things like clients and living your life. Let's get to it. Practitioners like you deserve a thriving practice helping your clients live long, healthy lives. I'm Colaiacovo, marketing strategist for practitioners and dietitians, and I'm here to tell you that marketing your private practice shouldn't be complicated or take hours a day. I help bring the joy back to running your practice with simple marketing plans that actually get you clients, so you can spend your time doing more of what you love. The Marketing Your Private Practice podcast shares actionable strategies and time-saving tips that build your confidence and skills when it comes to marketing. Learn to spend less time on your marketing, how to attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Like many private practice owners, marketing is rarely at the top of your favorite things to do list. And I get that. Your passion is helping your clients live better lives, healthier lives, happier lives. And as a business owner, though, you get the importance of marketing to get clients, but you also get so frustrated trying to make it all work. Most days, it seems like you never get out of an endless cycle of doing marketing to get clients and grow your practice. And when it's not working, you often do the thing that many people try. You do more marketing to see what's working, and then even more, and then even more. Often, practitioners are trying to learn new ways of getting the marketing to work. So now you add in trying some other new things, and holy crow, by the end of any given week, you're exhausted and discouraged because none of it's working. I'm exhausted just talking about it. But I'm also used to hearing this. It is very common. One of the best ways that you can get out of this endless cycle is to get a system in place with your marketing. Now, the worst thing you can do is to create more and more marketing content, trying to make anything stick. So let's talk about the best way here today, because I want you following systems that are effective, not doing random marketing and trying anything and everything to see what might work for you. That will end up typically taking a lot of time and wasted time and taking you away from the work you should be doing that's going to help you grow your practice. So the system I'm going to share with you today is all about streamlining your marketing in such a way that you're not spending hours a day online and on marketing. The way I teach clients to do this starts by setting a cycle for consistent new content and then using that one article you're going to create for almost all of the marketing content you need for each cycle. The cycle is decided by determining how often you're going to send a newsletter or publish a blog. This might be doing a monthly or a bi-weekly newsletter or blog. And then what happens from that article you create, you're going to pull the content out of there and repurpose it to use for your online marketing and social media marketing content. Following a system like this means you're not creating all sorts of content for your social media marketing and different content for your newsletters and other content for your blogs. That is how marketing burnout happens, from creating more content that you need. And this burnout is absolutely preventable. We want to get you to a place where that one article becomes all the other content, your Facebook and Instagram posts, your stories, even reels and videos. That's the Thrive marketing method I teach. And it's how practice owners can streamline their marketing to have more time to be able to work on your practice and with your clients, because that's the path to financial freedom with your practice, not doing more marketing that's not working in the first place. Now, to ground you, this lesson is all about one of your 10 marketing foundations. Number 4, create anchor content on your website consistently. There are 10 marketing foundations in total that help you be more effective with your marketing. And if you want to check if you have them in place, you can take a quiz that I will have a link for in the show notes. It's a quiz that I've set up that helps us determine, do you have the marketing foundations in place and do you need to do some optimizing to get them working? It comes with a checklist too, so be sure to grab that from the show notes. So marketing foundation number 4 is creating consistent anchor content on your website. Anchor content is this content you're going to publish on your website, typically as a blog post. So it's an article you're going to write and put on your website as a blog post. Now, the purpose of content like this is meant to attract your ideal clients, but also to get you noticed by the search engines. This anchor content can also be reused and repurposed in many ways. It actually can fill up your entire content calendar for social media posts, as well as using it for your newsletter. And that's what we're going to focus on today, repurposing that anchor content so that you can create almost all of the social media you'll need for that cycle until you create the next anchor content piece. The first step to getting a system in place to streamline your marketing starts with setting that schedule for your anchor content, your main article. Now, I refer to it and call it anchor content because it really is the anchor for everything we're going to do here. That article is going to kick off the system where you're going to take the article you wrote, that one piece of content, and repurpose it in several different ways so you have all the social media content you need until you create the next article. Now, this does mean making one more decision, deciding how much content you want to publish on your social media channels for each cycle. Now, there's no set rule on what is right or wrong here. It really boils down to how much do you want to show up on social media? How active do you want to be there? Knowing this will help you know and understand how much social media content you're going to need to pull and repurpose from that main anchor content. And you can stay tuned for a future episode because I'm going to cover how you can decide and determine how much social media is enough for you. Setting your schedule for the anchor content is critical to this system because it's going to make that determining factor on how much content you're going to create. You will want to create enough that will last until the next anchor content piece comes out in the next cycle. So if you plan on one new article a month or every 2 weeks, that's going to help you know how much content you want to repurpose from that article. How long is it going to need to help you and have content to put out there on your social media channels? If it's a weekly article, probably each cycle you're going to need less social media than if you did a once a month article because that cycle is longer in between. This is how you're going to create this streamlined system to marketing your private practice. When you create that main article, you're going to want to post this on your website, ideally in the form of a blog post. If you're a podcaster, it's probably going to be the show notes for your podcast episode because the podcast episode is actually your anchor content, your article, if you will. This is never something to leave out of the system, the blog on your website. You never want to be sending just a newsletter and not posting that article from your newsletter on your website as a blog. This is a key element within the entire Thrive marketing method. That anchor content piece, that article you create, really must go on your website. You need to get to a place where you have this blog option on the website to make this work. Now, a lot of folks that may not be blogging at this point will start worrying and wondering because they don't have one. So don't panic about this. It's possible to get a blog working on almost every type of website system out there. But if you're not sure, what you can do is book a quick call with me. We'll get on a Zoom call and quickly review your setup on your website, and I'll guide you to the best way you can get that blog option up and running. There's a link to my calendar in the show notes, and please book the call. It's free, and we'll just talk through. We'll take a look at your website. I'll let you know the next steps on how you can make that happen so you don't have to wonder and worry and add more frustration to your day. I don't want that to be where you are. So the blog on your website, when you do that, you really are putting that out there to help the search engines find it. This is why I don't want you skipping this step. Because the blog on your website, yes, it's meant for people to read it and your ideal client, but you also want the search engines knowing you're there so they can start sending people and website traffic to you to read that blog. That's how you start finding these new folks that you don't know about already, that don't know about you, people that aren't connected to you on social media already. It is the beginning step there, and that's why it is so critical that this anchor content article that you write goes on your website. So now let's back up a little. We're going to assume you've chosen your content cycle. You know how much content that you're going to need for social media, and you have that article that you're going to be publishing on your blog. And I highly recommend sending that as well to your newsletter list. They're not always going to find it on your blog, and you've captured their names and emails already. So you also want them to read it by sending out a newsletter. So now that you've got this article and you know that you're going to put it out there as a blog and newsletter, now you're ready to create the marketing content you're going to need for this cycle of marketing that is going to be based on that article you wrote. And that's really what we're doing here. We're going to use that one article and repurpose it into the other marketing content that you need for platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and more. So the first type of marketing content we want to create from that article is what I refer to as blog promotional posts. So this is content that you're typically going to share on social media. It might be a sentence or two that has a goal of encouraging people to click the link and take them to read that blog article on your website. This piece of content is really intended to help more people read or listen to the content you've created, to that anchor content piece. You help them find it by creating posts to share on social media and including a link to the specific blog article when you post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Now, you can have it go on an Instagram post, but remember, not everyone has enough followers that they can put a clickable link in a post they put on Instagram. You can definitely do it in stories, and you can definitely say something and add a call to action at the end that says, click the link in my bio or DM me for a link to read the entire article. So typically what you want to have here is content. A blog promotional post is really something that's going to make people look at it, read it, and think, oh, I want to know more. And how do I read more or learn more? So to make creating these quick and easy, typically what I'm looking for is looking for words that you have in the article that may recap what you're going to talk about or the intro into the article that you probably have at the beginning. And often you can just copy and paste those words. They will typically fit really well to make a type of post that entices someone to read that blog article on your website. So often it's really a copy and paste, maybe a couple little changes. And this means it shouldn't take you much time at all to create this content. And that's content piece number one. Now, number two piece of content you're going to create from this article is pulling out some educational and informational content. So this isn't content that will go with a link. It's not really what I call sales content, and content that has a link and asks people to take a call to action is sales content. This is really good old-fashioned tips. And I refer to these as brilliance business tips because really you're creating business-related content that shares your expertise, which I like to refer to as the brilliance in you. So this is tips and advice that are going to help your community, your ideal client, learn something, and it's also going to build your credibility. You can pull out a one-line tip or a piece of advice from that anchor content, or you could pull out even more. I like to make about 2 or 3 brilliance business tips from every article or podcast that I create. And we also create a couple images to go with the article as well as these brilliance business tips. And that way you have a supply of tips and images to go with them that you can easily use and post on social media. And these are the kind of pieces of content you can pre-schedule out there. You don't need to post them live. They don't need to have any of you posting with them in the moment. You can pre-schedule these ahead of time. And then you spend your time networking live online. And often people are going to be reacting, commenting to the content you pre-scheduled, and that's how you start building that relationship and community online. Making Brilliance business tips is so easy. You simply need to scan your article for statements that read like a short piece of advice, a one-liner tip. That's a Brilliance business tip, and it's all ready to go. Match it with an image, and it's ready to post on social media. Now, some of your content should also try getting people engaging with you. And that's where we get into the third type of content that you can create from that anchor content, from that one article. And it's really the type of content where you're asking questions or for opinions or getting people to share ideas and responses. And these are what I call engagement posts. These posts have a purpose on social media of getting people talking and commenting about the content you've put out there, engaging with you. You want people talking and commenting back and forth because that's going to be the start of them getting to know you a little more, building that know, like, and trust factor. You can refer to your article and pull out a line or two of advice, and you can ask people a question about it, or you can add an image to it as well to capture people's attention as they scroll on social media. The goal of these is really for you to just add something into your content that's not salesy and is really intended to get people engaging. And typically you're looking to engage your ideal client here. So an engagement post is all about getting people talking and communicating with you. Then we have number 4 and 5, and these may be optional pieces of content for some folks because they involve video. So content pieces 4 and 5 that you can pull out of your anchor content are going to be short or long videos. Now, if you want to get over the roadblock of showing your face on camera or doing videos, I promise this video content will become some of the most engaging content you have out there. And it's a great way for people to get to know you because they see and hear you talking. So content piece number 4 are those short videos, those ones under 60 or 90 seconds, even 2 minutes. These can be Instagram stories, reels, videos, or even Facebook videos and reels and stories. Typically, these are very easy to make from the article. It's so easy to pull out snippets of content from that main article and use the words you've already written to create a video. That's what I like to do. I look at the article, I think, what could I say in a short video? And then I really copy and paste that information, make a little script, and I'm ready for the video. So it's not creating anything new. It's taking what you already have in that article and putting it into a format of what you're going to say in a short video. So what I like to do with these is I typically will look at the information, put some Post-it notes in front of me, write a couple of the points there, stick the Post-it note on the front of my cell phone, and then I record the videos. I keep it very simple, very easy. And these short videos you can use in your marketing all over the place. You can use them on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can even get into YouTube's new shorts that they have for videos. So that is short form video. And the ideal thing about this is you're not rewriting these scripts that you want to use or whatever ideas you have for it from scratch. You've got the information there already. So that's short form video. But you can also make longer videos than 2 minutes and use them. Often these might be a Facebook Live or even a pre-recorded one that you do for Facebook or YouTube, or even doing an article where you want to add a little more to it and add a video to it. That's another way to use videos as well. Longer videos are the 5th piece of marketing content you can create from that one article, your anchor content. These are typically over 2 minutes, and with them, you can pull out more content for a slightly longer video. I typically look at these and make these from articles that I might have that have steps in it. So maybe I have something with 5 steps. I'll literally pull up that area of the article, look at it, and make the video script right from there. Often, again, it's a copy and paste of the words. I have my script to follow, and that helps me put that video up there. I'm not creating a brand new video from scratch. I might not make a full script. I'll just highlight the points and then talk in the video a little bit more. But it's easy to make these videos because you've got the content there already and you're putting it in a different format. So it's not looking like it's the same exact content out there. So when you look at these lists that you might have in your article or the tips that you have, you can take these typically and go a little deeper with the points that you have in the article to make that longer video that you'll use. Now, all videos that you make, whether they're a short or long one, should kind of follow with a format of 4 things that I like to make sure I include in every video: a hook, an intro, a message, and a CTA. So the hook is something that tries to capture people's attention to listen in. Then you give them an intro so they know what you're going to be sharing. Then you share your main message and finish it off with a call to action. And a pro tip on making videos: if you batch your video making, it will be a lot easier and take a lot less time. I typically do this in a couple ways. I block time to create the content, the scripts, and the captions so they're all ready. Then I block time at another time in my week and I record the videos. I typically might go in and do a change at my top or brush my hair a little bit differently so I have a different outfit in the videos. Not every one of them. I'll usually do 4 videos and I'll do 2 outfits. But by batching them together here and by doing the content writing and having that all batched together, then they're all ready to go when it's the time to post them either live or schedule them as well. So those are the 5 pieces of consistent new content you can use to fill your marketing calendar for every cycle where you produce that new anchor piece of content. So those 5 items, just to recap, are your blog promotional posts. They're your brilliance business tips, number 2. Number 3 are those engagement posts that get people talking. And number 4 and 5 are short and long videos. These are the 5 pieces that you can easily create from that one article that you wrote. Now, what does this look like in action? Well, I'm going to give you an example from someone doing a weekly newsletter or blog as their anchor content. And it's really my example. This is how I did this for my business. So when the anchor content is written, the schedule that I have for it is it typically goes as the newsletter first to my subscribers on the email list on Thursdays. And then I post it on the website as a blog on Fridays. But from that article, I create 3 blog promotional posts. I create 3 brilliance tips and 3 images that are going to go with the newsletter, in the blog, and with some of those social media tips as well. Then what I typically do is I think about how I could use this topic and write a couple one-liners or questions that will get people talking about the article topic. So something like, what's one of your top peeves about marketing, and just get people going and talking. You want to try to get those on a topic that's based on your business and what your ideal clients will be talking about. Now, for each article, we create 2 short videos that I use on Instagram, Reels, and Stories, and TikTok. I typically create 2 weeks at a time, so I am a little bit ahead in this content creation. And what I typically say in these videos comes straight from that anchor content. I'll either put it on that Post-it note I was telling you about, make a little script for a longer one, and then we go. And that's how I put them all together. When you follow a process like this, you can end up with enough content for 1 to 2 weeks of social media marketing content, sometimes even more. Again, the whole big thing about doing this repurposing process is that you're going to find the content all has a similar goal and purpose. It's not just random content you're putting out there to have content on social media. It has a goal and a purpose behind each one of them that you create. And following a system like this is where you're going to find yourself creating less new content because you're repurposing it to use in many other ways. It's how you can be efficient and effective with your marketing. When you optimize your marketing and follow a system like this to streamline all the tasks that are involved and the content creation, you're going to find 3 things will happen. 1, you're going to spend less time on your marketing. 2, you're going to see more results from the marketing. And most importantly, you're going to help build a balance in your business and your life so that you're not spending more time on your marketing than you are working with clients or doing other revenue generating activities. Start today and set a schedule for your consistent new content, your anchor content, and then begin that system of taking that one piece of content and reusing it in these 5 different ways. That will help you fill your marketing calendar without creating every piece of social media content from scratch. The key to saving time with your marketing and getting out of that endless cycle is to repurpose as much as you can. The system I've shared with you today is part of what I teach in the Thrive Marketing Academy, and it takes a few lessons in the training program to get these foundations and basics in place so that you can use a system like this on a regular basis. But once you do, there is no going back. It really does help you streamline everything you're doing with your marketing so that you can be consistently marketing your practice in a way that does end up taking you less time because you're creating less content. But what happens is you do your marketing in such a way that it gets you the results you're after, which ultimately means bringing in more clients to your practice, building that thriving practice you dreamed of when you started your business. To me, a thriving practice is one where you have a consistent flow of clients, the income you're looking for, and it's also one where you're not on social media all day long chasing clients. Instead, you're doing your marketing in a way that clients can find you. You can connect with clients, you can engage with them, and you end up having time left in the day to live your life. Now, I do have a free guide on streamlining your content that shares a lot of this system along with a little more information on some other content that you want to be adding into your marketing that helps you get new leads. You can click the link to the Streamline Your Marketing Guide in the show notes that you're going to find at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/10. And that's the number 10. And remember my promise, if you have questions about setting up a blog on your website and you're not sure about that, book that free call with me and I will share with you how you can make a blog working for your practice and your website. Like I've said before, marketing your private practice really shouldn't be complicated or take you hours a day. Getting systems in place to help you streamline everything is the best way to make that a reality for you and get you off that endless cycle of marketing that's going nowhere. Be sure to check out all the show notes from this episode. There's links in there that you can click to get some of the resources that I've mentioned, and you'll find them all at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/10. And I will see you in the next episode. Be sure to check out all the show notes from this episode to get access to the resources I mentioned, and you'll find them all at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/9. And I will see you on the next episode. Marketing Your Private Practice with Kathy C. offers you all the show notes and resources mentioned in our podcast on our website at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. You can find and connect with Kathy on Instagram by searching for Pepper It Marketing. We love to hear any feedback you have, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at Pepper It Marketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.